All right, so you've already seen my face before. I'm Amber Johnson. I am one of the coaches in this group. I live right near the Grand Canyon, about an hour away from the Grand Canyon, in Flagstaff, Arizona. Um, I've lived here for just under 2 years. I have four really wild kids who are in the other room wrestling with their dad. He's a dentist. He works in a whole different city, though. He works on the Indian Reservation that's about an hour and a half away from here, in the opposite direction of the Grand Canyon, I'm pretty sure. In the Painted Desert, where it's beautiful, but he doesn't ever get to go to the beautiful spots. Anyway, he works on the res, and so he's gone a lot. He gets up at 2:30 in the morning this time of year. Leaves here by 4 o'clock. He does his exercise, showers, and leaves by 4 o'clock. And then he's gone all day long until almost 7 o'clock at night because of the long commute. And he comes back home tired and exhausted and worn out. And so I am basically a single mom. He only works 4 days a week. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, he's home. But then we're trying to have family fun time and downtime and all that kind of stuff. So we don't do a lot of like productive stuff together. It's basically all on me. We love our lifestyle. It is hard, and it's been hard for a long time. So he's been in practice. This is his third year in practice. And so for the last, 3 years ago, he started practicing. And then, 2 years ago, he started practicing like in Tuba City. The year before that, so the third year, he was in residency. So he was licensed practicing, but he was still being observed by other licensed dentists and specialists. And in the 4 years before that, he was in dental school. And the 5 years before that, he was in undergrad. And it's just been a long, long, long road where he's been burdened and stressed out and burnt out. And it's been hard. Because he's been burnt out for so long, I've been on that cusp of burnout, or I was on that cusp of burnout the whole time that he was in dental school and we were having babies. We had our first baby like 2 months after I graduated from undergrad, so I was like big and pregnant as we walked on stage to get our diplomas and stuff. And then I started staying home full time. But since the day that we graduated, Jacob was still doing school. So he finished his undergrad and then had to do prerequisites. And then worked a bunch of odd jobs for like 9 or 10 months before he got into dental school, where he was working nights and weekends and doing outages at a nuclear power plant and teaching kindergarten and working with the Census Bureau and all kinds of road construction, a whole bunch of different things just to make ends meet. So he wasn't home much then either. And then he went to dental school where he was required to be on campus for 16 hours a day, Monday through Friday, about 6 hours on Saturdays, and then a few hours on Sundays too. And we both had church calling. So we really only saw him like maybe 2 hours a week. So we had one baby going into dental school, and then I had the second baby the 2 weeks after dental school started. We had our third baby 2 years later, and we had our fourth baby 2 years after that. And then just before she turned a year old, we moved here to Flagstaff, and he's been practicing on the res ever since then. So our life has been nonstop. And I'm not saying that to get sympathy, just to illustrate how busy I've been and how busy he's been, and how well we understand the need for taking care of yourself first. Before I started coaching, I was a huge mess. I was pathetic. I really was. I've never been obese, but I was pretty hefty. I was like skinny fat. I'm only 5'3", and so I had about 35 extra pounds on me that I didn't want to admit to, and it was hard just to function on a day-to-day level. But my fourth baby had dislocated my pelvis, like on this side, almost 30 degrees. So I couldn't walk either. I had done like chiropractic manipulations and physical therapy and stuff to get it back into alignment. But if I just like twisted my knee the wrong way, it would just go straight back. And so I could barely walk sometimes. I still have a visible limp at times if I don't exercise regularly. And that was that year that we moved here to Flagstaff was the turning point for me. I couldn't handle it anymore. After sacrificing endlessly for 6 years, the 1 year before dental school, the 4 years of dental school, and the year of residency, and having 4 kids and always being on my own, I just couldn't handle it anymore. I had to start taking care of myself. And what ended up changing me was doing Beachbody stuff and doing the coaching mostly. I signed up with a challenge pack through my coach and helped her to run her challenge groups. I did Country Heat, which is a really fun 30 minutes a day line dancing. It's like taking a brisk walk for 30 minutes. And I would put my baby in my front carrier, what is it called? Oh, I can't remember. She's bigger now, so I don't use it as much anymore. But I had one of the like fabric front carriers, the structured one, so not like the wrap. And I'd buckle her into that, and I do my country line dancing for 30 minutes a day. I usually ended up doing it in the evenings, like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and so it would actually rock her to sleep, and I'd tuck her in, and then tuck the other kids in, and then go about my evening, and I'd have my Shakeology, and you know, after about a month of doing that, I was changed forever. I lost like between 6 and 8 pounds that first month, and so I was feeling better. I was able to stretch my hip out a whole lot more than ever before, so I was walking better. The Shakeology was helping me to digest things better, to reduce my sugar cravings. Like I had like 0 sugar cravings, like none. Like I bought a bar of chocolate just before I got my challenge pack, like before it arrived in the mail, and I didn't eat it. Like all month long, I opened the fridge once a month later, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that, which was miraculous because I have a huge sweet tooth. And the exercise was great. It was just melting the fat off of me. It was wonderful. And then I went on and did more and more programs, and after a couple of months, I was able to be so flexible again that my hip hardly ever hurt. I lost the 30 plus pounds. I say 30, but it's like, there's always a fluctuation of 3 to 5 pounds for me. So it was about 30 pounds total that I lost, and I'm feeling better than ever and just fantastic now. But through the course of those beginning months, I learned to take time for myself, to invest in myself and my sanity so that I could take care of everyone else, because nothing happened if I was grumpy and upset and if I lost my cool. But if I take care of myself first, then I'm able to stay centered enough that no matter what else flies off the handle during the day, I'm able to, like, 95% of the time, just handle it calmly and not be the mess that I was turning into before then. So this group really is all about those kind of changes, taking care of yourself, making sure that you as the leader of your family, or you as the maybe not lead spouse, but as a spouse, and whatever your role is in your you-centered world, you're the epicenter. And if you are off track, then everything else blows up. But if you are centered and you are grounded and you are taking care of yourself, then everything will be okay. It can still be very chaotic, but it could be like organized chaos instead of complete chaos. I'm pretty sure that as we do our get to know you videos, whatever, we were supposed to mention like what are some of our favorite self-care things and what we're going to try this weekend. So I'm doing this ahead of time, and so that's why I don't really know. But one of my favorite self-care things really is exercise. And I'm not a huge fan of exercise, but I like it because after it's done, I feel like so strong and so powerful inside and out, and I feel like I can take on the world. I really don't look forward to exercise, but once it's done, I feel awesome. So that's one of my favorite ones. And this weekend I will do, we do massages on the weekends. So my husband, he's not a huge fan of massages. He likes them, but he's had some pain recently. So we got something called Tiger Balm. There's also another one called BioFreeze. It's kind of like icy hot, but more condensed. So it's like a balm that you rub on, almost like Vicks Vapor Rub, but it's like almost pure menthol. It has that icy hot kind of effect. So for him, I'll use that in coconut oil and rub it all over his sore muscles and try to work out the knots. For me, usually on a Saturday or Sunday morning, we have a massage chair in our bedroom, and I'll climb up on there and he'll help to rub out the knots between my shoulders. That's usually the what do you call it? Like the fire spots or whatever. The ones that are like hurting the most anyway. So we'll probably do massages this weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing your videos and getting to know you all better too. So see you later.